Boys and girls, how you doing? I'm Tim, welcome back. I finished analyzing all of the Black Ops 3 Zombies maps, so if you guys want to go check those out, there's a playlist including all of those. The reason why I started with BO3 is because I made an analysis video on Shadows, not intending to make a series of it, and then I followed that with Horizon Drac, and you guys liked them so much that I decided to do all of them. So we're going to come back to World at War with Nacht, and we're going to go all the way back up to BO3, skip over BO3 since we already did it, and then go into BO4, if that makes any sense. Today, we're going to look at none other than the classic Nacht der Untoten. It kicked off World at War Zombies, and zombies at large. This is the foundation of what we now know as Treyarch Zombies. This bonus experience was unlocked upon completion of the campaign in World at War. The map launched over a decade ago, back in 2008. Do you feel old yet? Being the first Zombies map ever, it would naturally be the simplest Zombies map ever. The most straightforward Zombies experience you can get. There are 3 doors, and in the World at War version, the only notable feature is the ray gun. There are no traps, no perks, pretty much nothing. You relied heavily on yourself and your bullets. Though you could run around with a flamethrower, camping in a corner with an LMG was sort of the way to go. The map is so bare bones, so straightforward that there's not much to analyze. It's not an Origins or a Garage Crovy that you could spend 20-30 minutes talking about. It's a small bunker with 3 rooms. The map is very old, and the big question is, does this map hold up in 2019 or 2020 or 2021 or any of the years following? How long could this map possibly last? Clearly, anyone with a copy can play it. The real question is, how does it shape up in modern zombies? It's important to note that over time, unlike many other maps, this map has evolved. We've seen many variations of it. It was even part of the campaign back in World at War. It was remastered in Black Ops 1 Zombies alongside the other World at War maps when purchasing Moon in the Resurrection Pack. We then saw a glimpse of it in Green Run, which was disgusting. It was reimagined in Revelations, and then it was remastered in Black Ops 3 Zombies Chronicles. Each version adding something new to the table, something that the last version didn't have. In that respect, Nacht is like the Nuketown of the Zombies mode. We've seen it done so many times in so many different fashions that we're so familiar with it. When remastered in BO1, it brought in a couple of new features, the most notable of which, the Thunder Gun alongside the Monkey Bombs, and one singular perk in Mule Kick, which isn't very good considering you don't have Jug or Quick Revive or anything else. But nonetheless, it was something. And on top of that, in the Zombies Chronicles version, it gave you a Ray Gun Mark II alongside a Wonder Fizz machine, which gave you all of the perks. Also, Gobblegum machines. Clearly, there's a massive difference between the World at War Nacht and the Black Ops 3 Nacht. World at War Nacht was the most challenging experience ever. Not only did you have very little space to work with, you had no perks, you had no great wonder weapons, the ray gun had tons of splash damage. There just wasn't much meat on the bones. The Black Ops 1 version was slightly easier, but not much easier. You had a Save Me wonder weapon, but that was just about it. You'd quickly run out of ammo and get cornered the same way you would in World at War. In Black Ops 3, with a Wonder Fizz machine and a Gobblegum machine, things got much easier. You could obtain Pack-a-Punched weapons, you could slow down the zombies, you could have tons of drops spawn in. BO3 Nacht der Untoten was a very feasible high-round attempt now. Sure, it was still more challenging than other BO3 maps, but with the overpowered features and double Pack-a-Punch and Gobblegum, it would be the easiest it had ever been. So when asking, does Nacht der Untoten still hold up, it's hard to pinpoint which version we're talking about. So instead of making it about one specific version, let's speak generally. And since everybody has their own map preferences and play styles, we'll speak generally of the community. The majority of the Zombies community is casual, I'd say 80%. So generally, the Zombies community leans towards simpler maps. Not necessarily easier, just simpler to understand. 20% of the community is hardcore. They go for world records, they grind out Easter egg speedruns, and all that kind of stuff. They enjoy the lore that the casual people don't necessarily bat an eye to. Not to mention, the story of Nacht is very easy to follow. A couple of vehicles carrying 115 were crashed into by the plane. The surviving Marines make their way to the bunker and fight off the zombie horde. Anyways, by this logic, you've got an approximate 80% approval rating. 80% of the community is casual, Nacht der Untoten is casual. And even those hardcore players like to chill out and play a game of Nacht every now and then. When you really think about it, there aren't many people out there that hate this map. Because there isn't much to hate. Nacht is as simple as it gets. You're just killing zombies, and unless you hate zombies, you likely enjoy it. So what I've established here is that pretty much anyone can get behind Nacht because of how little there is to not like about it. You may be thinking, well, no shit, but there are zombies maps out there that the community generally doesn't approve. For example, Bus Depot and Farm are equally, if not smaller maps than Nacht der Untoten, but they're disliked far more, which goes to show that simple maps can be hated, but Nacht der Untoten just isn't. We as a community love Nacht der Untoten, but how does it size up to a Black Ops 3 or a Black Ops 4 map? Modern zombies. Well, really, they're polar opposites. Modern zombies maps are huge and expansive. There's oftentimes a very difficult and lengthy setup process, but with easy high rounds because of overpowered wonder weapons, or gobble gum, or double pack-a-punch. Nacht is the antithesis of this. It's a very small map, very straightforward, and I mean, you could probably fit 40 of these things in a map like Origins. Setting up is nothing, you just spin the box. But because there's so little to work with, and because there's nothing you're setting up to get, the high rounds are very difficult. You're constantly burning through ammo, you have no perks, traps aren't an option. When juxtaposed to a modern zombies map, Nacht der Untoten is nothing like it. And rightfully so, it was the first map ever created. Since Nacht is nothing like a map that would be developed in 2019, you'd think that it wouldn't shape up in 2019. A map like Nacht der Untoten is completely obsolete. Nobody could ever go back and play such a dull experience. And hey, that might be the case for some of you guys, but for me, it's quite the opposite. I think Nacht der Untoten stands strong to this day. Obviously, the Black Ops 3 remaster stands a lot stronger than the World at War version, but Nacht der Untoten largely is still a great map. After playing Black Ops 4 Zombies and dealing with its intricacies and its complexity, a map like Nacht der Untoten is actually crucial. Sometimes we just need to play a game of mindless zombies. It's like yin and yang. On one side you got the complex maps, and on the other side you got the simple maps. It's nice to have a balance. After a game of Voyage of Despair, if I want to continue to play, I'm gonna probably hop on a simpler map, and Nacht der Untoten serves this purpose. The same thing could be said about other simple maps like Verrückt, Shinonuma, Derice, and like I said earlier, some simple maps can't say that, like Bus Depot or Farm. Those maps, in my opinion, don't hold up in 2019. Nacht der Untoten is simplistic beauty, it's pure nostalgia, and it's a great map. A map created over a decade ago is still strong to this day, and I think it holds up in 2019. And I know that was quick and not too in-depth, but guys, that's all I've got for you. That is my Nacht der Untoten analysis. Really, I could just go on and on about how it's bare bones and nostalgic and all that, but you guys already get that. And honestly, there isn't much to say about the map. The next episode will be Verrückt, and then it'll be Shinonuma, Derice, and then yada yada yada. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. Make sure to leave a like if you do. Subscribe so you don't miss any of those episodes. It's every single Sunday night, except for last Sunday, because unfortunately I was very busy. And I know this is uploaded on Monday, but I was doing the podcast yesterday and I had homework and all that kind of crap. So it's going to be every Sunday night, assuming that something doesn't pop up. I hope you guys have a terrific day, and I gotta go, so peace out.